I think Hollywood has two agendas. It's profit, but it's also propaganda.
Ice Cube is back with a vengeance, because after years of being isolated by the inner Hollywood circle, he's now taking names and calling out the most powerful people in the business.
Who has the most power in the entertainment industry?
Maybe Blackrock has the most power in Hollywood, who knows?
But as they say, if you aim for the king, you better not miss. Subscribe to Elites Exposed for more, and tell me if you're also reading something between the lines here.
At this point of being in this business this long, Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame, you name it, you got all of them, right? Who has the most power in the entertainment industry?
Wow. I mean, it's really hard to say who has the most power. It's some very powerful entities out here, you know. Maybe Blackrock has the most power in Hollywood, who knows?
You'd say Blackrock. I wouldn't disagree with you there on Blackrock.
Vanguard.
State Street, those guys.
Maybe they have the most power in the entertainment industry.
You think more than like a Lucian Grange?
Yeah, he's just, he could be fired.
He could be fired.
Yeah.
Leor, even these guys could be fired.
Yes.
And when Ice Cube names Blackrock and State Street, he's calling out the entire machine rather than just a few individuals. Because that's where I think even Patrick Bet David gets it wrong. True power is impersonal, and it doesn't really have a face. And whatever face you see is often just a replaceable cog in that machine. For example, when Ice Cube says even the CEO of Universal could be fired, that means every single person on the corporate ladder is actually on the chopping block. And the only way their careers survive is as long as they go along with where the money wants to go. If that's true, not even the people running these multi-billion-dollar conglomerates like Universal and Warner, or the people sitting on top of trillions like the head of BlackRock, hold real power. Because it's actually the big money and capital behind Hollywood and the music industry that has the ultimate sway. Those financial interests are what create incentives to lean one way politically or the other, to work with one artist and cancel another, or to push a certain flavor of messaging in their films and music. Rob Schneider has also seen up close how fragile every position of power in this corrupt system is, and how it can make those people do anything they can to retain that position.
They don't operate like an actor operates. I just want to get hired. I just want to get work, and every actor just wants to get hired. But they operate from a different perspective. The executives at studios in Hollywood, they know they're going to get fired. They know it. It's just a matter of time. But they operate not what's the best movie, what can I do that is meaningful to me. They don't operate that way. When they make decisions to make projects, they operate like, what will delay my inevitable firing the longest? How do I keep this beach house? How do I keep traveling on weekends? How do I keep dating these beautiful girls who are only dating me because I'm an executive?
In other words, the big industry money almost has a mind of its own. And the people you see on top are often just the bureaucrats serving the interests of that capital and making sure it gets the highest returns. And to do that, they're willing to stoop as low as you can possibly imagine in their cultural and creative output.
How do some of these scripts get greenlit in Hollywood? That these movies, they're out sometimes. I'm like, how did this get past these executives or the financiers to make this movie when it's not a good script?
Well, I think Hollywood has two agendas. It's profit, but it's also propaganda.
Really? Tell me more.
Well, I think they want to influence society, with these movies. And sometimes that's more important than making the money. And then sometimes the money is the most important. You never know which God is being served here, or which master is being served here, so to speak, sometimes when you're making a movie, because certain things are done purely for the propaganda of it. I mean, I think movie companies, for the most part, a lot of them started and were owned by the same people who want to engineer society anyway. It's kind of, this is just part of their portfolio. Some of these folks are so rich, Hollywood's a toy.
And if what Ice Cube says here is true, that means Hollywood is not the head of the octopus. It's just a tentacle, an arm of the establishment to manufacture consent. And it's the same establishment that has financial stakes in a dozen different industries and makes sure they work in tandem to create maximum ROI. And they make sure they get those financial returns, even if it means selling absolute garbage propaganda propaganda in their films and music. And that's what's accelerating the rot and decay of the entire culture. Because Ice Cube has previously pointed at something much more sinister when he said the same people who own the record labels selling violent and degenerate music themes are also the same people who own the private prison industry that benefit from a rise in violent crime.
But you said it's being done to divide us. Okay, by who? Who's doing it?
Well, who benefits and profits off our bickering and our division? You know, it's like follow the money. I don't know their names, Bill, but if you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see, okay, you know, this is an industry. Okay, let's take rap music.
Let's take it.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
And that's why I think Ice Cube can't point to a specific villain or give you a single name. Because you'll often see artists complain that the studios control them. The studios will complain that a few big conglomerates control them, and those big media giants will tell you that they're under the thumb of their executives. But the truth is that even those executives and CEOs know that they have no other choice but to go whichever way the behemoth of their massive financial capital wants to go. I mean, imagine being at the helm of an asset manager like BlackRock, controlling $10 trillion of wealth with one singular goal: growing it as fast as possible. And if that asset manager has got its fingers in the pie of a dozen different industries like Hollywood, music, or private prisons, they've got no problem making sure one feeds the other. And that is exactly the frighteningly impersonal, rotten system that Ice Cube has been brave enough to expose.
This guy, Ice Cube, I had him on the podcast yesterday. He's on Bill Maher, and he's saying, Bill Maher, the same people that own the record labels also own the private prisons. Who's he talking about? While he was on the podcast here, he said BlackRock. Do you know what are the two biggest private prisons in America? One of them is called Geo Group, right? Do you know who's the biggest shareholder, institutional shareholder of Geo Group? You ready? Number one, you can find this for yourself, BlackRock. They own roughly 14.16%. You know what number two is? It's called Vanguard. You know what they own? 9.96%. And by the way, the other one is called Core Civic Incorporated. Ready? Number one, biggest top institutional holder. Public information, BlackRock, 16.75%. Number two is Vanguard, 11.17%. You know what they like? They like the investment. It's a great business model. Let's get more people.
Indeed it is, but what's terrifying is that this kind of institutional greed has no problem accelerating the decay and decline of the culture to reap some short-term financial benefits for itself. And that's exactly what's happening as these conglomerates and asset managers get too big. When that corporate lust for more wealth is leeching off of the culture, they feed it the lowest IQ in pop culture and art, since that's the lowest risk investment for them. They train the audience for more degenerate and perverted themes in music until they want even more. And after that, they even create fake controlled opposition figures that satisfy your yearning for an anti-establishment narrative against this system. And with that, their total control is complete. But there's something more perverse about the music industry that even Katt Williams recently exposed. So do watch my breakdown of that bombshell revelation here and subscribe to Elites Exposed for more.